Good evening, everyone. It's a privilege to present here ourselves, and I'm Anupa. We are into BSF farming since 2018. I'll straightly go with the topic. So why insect farming? Why the current trend in insect farming is buzzing across the world? So, and why especially BSF farming? See, if we see the If you see the growth rate, it is 34.7% that is projected for 10 years. And if you see the market size, it is 3.4 billion in USD. BSF has several differentiators that has been really a good advantage for mass production. The first thing and the main thing is we can feed anything. We don't have to feed what we are using for human feed, or we don't have to feed them what we are feeding the livestock. They can upscale the scraps and waste that is almost considered as waste into a proper protein source. The next thing is it's a natural feed for most of the land omnivorous animals, and it is native to most of the countries and safe. It is not contagious or transmitting any disease. It's not pest. It doesn't sting or spread any disease in that matter. The next, it is small and nutritious. Being small is giving a really big advantage because we require less space in farming, less resources and energy in handling as well. And it is a nutrition bomb. It contains all the essential nutrients that is required. It is sustainable and eco-friendly. When I talk about the sustainability and eco-friendly, it is used to process the organic waste. And when the organic waste finds its value, especially in BSF rearing, the source segregation of plastic and organic waste happens, which is a big problem. So once that happens, the plastics will find its way for recycling. So it helps in the environmental issues currently prevailing. The other big factor that actually impresses us to get into BSF farming is this figure. We can produce anywhere from 250 tons to 2,000 tons per hectare per year of BSF. The difference in the figure variation is huge because whether we can go as a horizontal farming or as a vertical farming, so the space is same, so the difference is also high. But this is an astonishing amount of BSF that we can produce. This is a live weight, wet weight form. And some other figures, 1 gram of BSF egg can produce 2.5 kgs of live larvae in a span of 10 to 15 days time. And it can process double its weight, consumes that much waste within a span of 24 hours, reducing the biomass of the waste. And we can closely take it to 20 to 22 production batches per year. So why BSF in poultry industry? How relevant it is? See, for the chickens, they have evolved as a wild bird, evolved to process insects and larvae for a quite long time. Their biochemistry is adjusted and evolved for thousands of years to process insects. 20 to 30% of their daily nutritional requirement has been coming from insect in wild and in free-range chicken rearing. So this is not a new thing. It's not a new inclusion. This has been happening in the wild range. Anyway, chickens are not going to fish, go to pond to fish and fulfill their nutritional requirement. Actually, their nutritional fulfillment in wild happens via insect and larvae apart from the plant source. So if you see the nutritional prospect of BSF, the protein content is 30 to 35% in whole dried, but if the same protein percent, when we de-oil the fat, it reaches to 55%, which is at par with the fish meal, and much superior to soya. So that gives a big difference, and the amino acid profile is more than and at par with the requirement, especially in the fatty acid. It is fats it is 25% to 28%. And if you see the fatty acid profile, it is mostly saturated fatty acid being dominating, that is around 76%. And uric acid, C12, is 52%. That is a very critical parameter in the fatty acid. And C12 to C18 is highly available, and it is naturally synthesized, self-synthesized by BSF. That is a specialty. And if you see the other MUFA and PIFA and DHA and omega, it has to be engineered. The BSF has the tendency to accumulate these fatty acids when it has been supplied in its diet. So there is a lot of research and tubes need to be done to really cater BSF according to our requirement. So that is possible to a certain extent. And macro and micronutrients are available as required. Several studies and papers have been published on the performance parameters of BSF. So it is doing good in feed intake and FCR ratios, reducing mortality and improving digestibility and blood traits and antioxidant status. The luric acid, which I already stated, is a special ingredient. Being a medium and short-chain fatty acid, the bioavailability of this is high in the feed inclusion, when we do it in the feed inclusion. And it has enhanced the antimicrobial activity. And it is also reducing the oxidation property of the meat in the end product, which is a plus for marketing perspective on the end meat production. So this is the result that has been studied with 10 to 15% inclusion, with an improved gut health, reduced mortality, the yellow yolk and thickness of the shell, which is again a marketing point of view, reduces oxidation of the meat, and it is having all the antimicrobial activities, and improves the general health of the animal. The yellow yolk thing is happening because of the accumulation of carotenoids in the BSF, and it is mainly with the help of the diet that has been fed to the BSF. So BSF, in the safety point of view, have a gut microbiota that inactivates E. coli and Salmonella bacteria, which is being a problem and maybe a safety issue in the feed. So it's safe, and moving forward, it actually inactivates the harmful bacteria in the feed. That is the nature of BSF as such. So BSF got approval from AFCO, and EU has also approved BSF inclusion in feed, as both in BSF as a meal and also BSF as in oil. The studies has been done till the inclusion of 20% in BSF meal and to 2 to 5% of BSF oil in the feed. Other applications as a BSF industry, the left-out residue after harvesting BSF is an organic fertilizer which has an anti-phytogenic property, very good in proving very good as an organic fertilizer in agriculture. And chitin and chitosans, exoskeleton derivatives, are finding various applications in the industries. Recent application, and chitin has also been studied for human supplement. As an including it as an antimicrobial supplement in human grade supplements. Currently, BSF is really working and promising for usage in the pet industry. Dog being a wider used feed acceptant. And that is because hypoallergenic properties of BSF, being a novel protein source, helps the dog and dog feed. Good palatability is seen in the dog food, and it improves the dog's general health and coat and also immunity. And recent study has shown that it is proving in anti-arthritic potential of the BSF, so that the bone issues or the arthritic problem in dogs has been getting solved with the use of BSF inclusion in their diet. And Tom Tommy is one of our customer who is sourcing BSF from us, and they are the first Indian brand that is using BSF as a dog food producer. So we have seen the potential of BSF. It is possible to produce them in large volume, but volume is the key when we meet with the possibility of investment, supportive government policies, R&D in each sector in production and also in the machineries. and treatment and utilization in a proper niche segments where we can meet the current production level with the applications. Having said all this, being a KovaiBSF, we are trying our best to do the work on inclusion of BSF into the poultry sector, but poultry is, of course, is an ocean for us. And we are also processing the poultry waste and looking for collaborations in that way so that we can address the pain point of anything in the poultry waste to take it further with the help of BSF. Thank you so much, and it is a privilege to be here. And I thank Professor Devagowda sir for giving me this opportunity. Thank you all for this evening. Thank you.